Good morning, fellow rippers. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Florida Panhandle, and welcome back to my backyard, where today we're going to have just a little update on the backyard golf hole that I'm trying to build. Got some big doings going on today, so let's get to it. Gonna go over here to the barn, get the tractor out, and then we'll show you what we've been working on. Alright, so little update. Last time we were doing the backyard golf hole, you saw we were pretty much muddy, stuck in the mud. Had to kind of get the tractor unstuck and left some big tire ruts. So I've been having to let the ground dry out a bit. And in between, hang on, I gotta get this gate open. In between days, you know, we'll have a couple days where it's pretty dry, and then we'll get rain at night and it gets muddy again, and so I've had to let it get a chance to dry out. Was able to redo the rototiller to kind of dig some of those ruts out, get everything kind of leveled and organized. And then what I tried to do was I had this big couple of pallets, and so I kind of made this, put a line on here, put some eyelets and a rope, and then I drug this behind my zero-turn mower to try to use it like a drag hollow to just kind of level out that dirt. But it didn't really work. It's just not quite heavy enough, and the angle of the boards underneath were just flat, and they just basically skidded on top. It didn't have anything kind of to dig down and kind of grab the dirt and then roll it over. So that didn't work. So the next step was I kind of went over it with the rototiller again, tried to loosen it up, get it nice and dried out. And I don't have a blade other than the bucket on the tractor. I don't have a box blade or like a skid steer or anything like that to do leveling, which I can kind of do it with the blade on the tractor, but you have to kind of drag backwards, and with the bigger clumps in the dirt from the rototilling, it doesn't really level it out too much. So on the green and the tee boxes, I can use the blade fairly good and get that pretty good. But the fairway being such a big area to, you know, try to back drag that all and try to level it out, it just wasn't working very good. So what I decided to do instead was to get it as good as I could with the rototiller, and then I basically just took, for the big ruts, my tractor and drove back and forth and rolled it with the tires like a rubber tire roller. And then after that, I took my zero-turn tractor, my zero-turn mower that's got a little bit smoother tires, a little bit smaller, and then I redid it back and forth just to try to smoothen that out, basically so that when we plant the grass seed and it grows in, it's going to be a fairly level surface for the fairway to be hitting on, not a bunch of ruts from the tire marks. So that's about the best I can do with the equipment that I have. I still have a little bit to do as far as rolling it with the zero turn, but I got some grass seed. Today we're going to be spreading the grass seed on the tee boxes and the green. I have a little rake and it's a blade type thing that I think is mostly used for concrete to help shape kind of the green. I've been working on that, and so hopefully we're expecting a little bit of rain. That tractor's a little noisy over there and the wind's blowing, so I'm going to come in here to the barn to get away from that wind a little bit. Hopefully we're supposed to get a little bit of rain today. I hope to get the grass seed down and maybe get some rain going on it to start to get it going and growing. The biggest thing I'm trying to figure out is I don't want the grass seed to just turn into bird seed. So I have some pretty tall fescue type stuff I can mow, get that grass, and then kind of throw it over as like a top dressing over the seed to hopefully keep the birds from just coming down and eating all the seed, because we have a lot of birds around here. We have a creek that goes through the back of our property, and there's a lot of birds, and I imagine once a couple of them see that seed down, they'll invite all their buddies and it'll be a buffet of birds. A lot to do. I'll meet you over by the green and I'll show you what we've been doing. Alright, so here we are. We made it to the green area. So as you can see, it's not too bad. It's got a little bit of pockets for, it's a little wet. I might not be able to work today because it's a little, we got a little bit of rain the last couple nights and I think it's too wet. As you can see where I drove through on the fairway, it's got the tire ruts happening again, so we want to avoid that. So I may have to wait and let this dry out. If I can do it by hand with my little rake, I'll show you my little, this is what I've been using to kind of contour the green by hand. And it's just kind of a rake blade looking thing, and I just use this to kind of make the shape that I want. There's a couple of places, like I don't know if it picks it up on camera, but like right there is a little depression. Some of these dark spots, like where the rain had settled, where it was a little lower than others. So I want to try to smooth this out. I had it pretty good with the blade, but there are some spots that are a little lower. So I may have to work on this a little bit more before I put the seed down. I don't know. The other thing I was thinking I could do is go ahead and put the seed down, try to get it, you know, as level as I can, put the seed down, and then after it starts growing, I can get a bunch of sand and put a top dressing to try to kind of level it out that way as well. I thought about just getting a bunch of sand and trying to level it out with sand here, but I'm not sure if it'll just mix with the mud and then not work. So I might just do it as a top dressing and try to level it out that way. So I'm gonna go over and try to do a little bit of hand and see what happens, and then we'll see if it's gonna be a possibility to do the grass today. And then the other thing I was gonna let you know, I haven't been doing a lot of golf videos on course lately. One, I do think I got the camera fixed with the memory card issue to where I don't have it cutting out on me all the time and repairing data and losing stuff. So I think that's taken care of. I'm not gonna have any more issues with that. But I think I have torn something in my right shoulder and it just hurts too much to play golf right now. So I'm got to give it a little bit of a rest and let it calm down, and then hopefully I can get back to playing in a week or two and get back to shooting some videos. But right now golf is going to have to be put on hold because I just can't tolerate the pain that I get when I swing the clubs. It's a bummer, but I'm hoping to try to avoid surgery. I want to try to let it heal on its own without having to have surgery. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, so some of those depressions weren't as bad as they originally looked. I think because they just soaked down and had a little bit of water in them, they looked a little deeper than they were. But I got it, it's fairly level contour. Now there are contours on this green. There's a high ridge in the middle, it drops off like a false front on that front right edge and the back right edge. And then this front left edge is a little higher and it kind of funnels back toward the middle. It's going to be kind of a domed in the middle. It's a little higher than the sides, so the back left kind of is a little higher, so it'll filter back kind of a little bit of a backstop, not much. So I think we're good if we can get the grass growing, top dress it with sand to kind of try to level that out a little bit. I think it'll be good. Now, I know that didn't look like a lot with that little rake blade thing, but I'm going to definitely be paying for that later. My shoulder's going to be really hurting after that. I'm not sure what I did to my shoulder, but that little bit of force and movement with that rake is already causing it to flare up a bit and hurt. So I'll probably have to take some ibuprofen later, hopefully get it to calm down. I'll be right back. I'm going to go get the seed spreader and we'll go from there. Alright, I decided to bring my leaf blower and try to blow off some of this just loose stuff on top and then get the seed down. Was going to try to agitate it with the rake a little bit, but I don't know that that would help. It's pretty hard and my shoulder hurts, so let's see what happens. much to put on. It's just these little fine green pellets, and it says, the bag says enough for 15,000 square feet, but you know, it doesn't look like it's that much on there, but maybe it doesn't need much, I don't know. So I'm just gonna kind of put as much on here, and we'll go do this, the two tee boxes I have, and then see if anything grows here pretty soon. All right, let's go move to the tee box over here, and we'll do that one, and then go to the further tee box and do that one. And then I think I'll get my zero turn out and mow around a little bit and throw some grass over the top of it to kind of help it protect it. And then hopefully we'll get some rain a little bit. I don't know, guys, might be too much seed on there, might be not enough, I'm not sure. But if it's too much, I don't think that's a bad thing. It'll just grow in nice and thick, right? If it's not enough, we'll add more later after we see what happens. So, alright, so I'm just going to spread some of this grass around, try to cover up that seed a little bit. We'll call it a day for the video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you want to follow along on this journey of building this backhole golf course, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you know when I come out with new videos, and share it with your friends if you're interested in seeing me build this backyard golf hole. And hopefully this year, with the grass that we're putting in, it'll be actual, you know, fairway and green and tee boxes to hit to. Down the road, if the green fills in, we'll look at getting an actual pin and cutting holes and putting a flag in and all that kind of stuff. But that's down the road. The next update will be seeing what the grass does, get the fairway flattened out a little more when it's not quite so muddy, get that planted with seed, and then we'll start mowing once the grass grows and see what we have. So I hope you like it. Until next time, hit them long, hit them straight. We'll see you later.